Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to the Stevie B Show. As always, I'm Steve Bertorelli. We're so happy to have you here today. I'm joined by my guest today, and a lot of you may not know that Medford has its own community chorale, the Medford Community Chorale. And with me are the director, Miss Betsy Pesh, Dr. Holly Zagaria, the accompanist, and Julie Kelleher, who are members of the Medford Community Chorale. Girls, thank you so much for being with this show.
Good to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Betsy, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, what's your background?
Sure. I grew up just over the hill in Somerville, and I did a lot of dancing and singing for many years at the Helen Nichols Dance Studio in the old Hobbs building in Davis Square. I graduated from St. Clement's, and I did my undergraduate work at Lowell. Actually, when I started, it was Lowell State, and we were the first graduating class of the University of Lowell in, I guess I'll date myself, 1976. And then after that, while I was teaching music in the Malden Public Schools for a number of years, I got my master's in music education and voice at Boston University. And so then basically I was home with my children for 10 years, and then I became the music director at St. Joseph's here in Medford for 20 years.
That's my parish, St. Joseph.
Yes,
yeah.
It is.
And you were a great music director, absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you so much.
Now, Holly, can you tell us a little background about yourself, your education, where you're from?
Sure. Yes, I come from Wakefield. I come from a musical family. My father is a superlative pianist, and so he was my first piano teacher. When I went to college, I went to the University of New Hampshire, and I majored in voice performance. And then later on, I got my master's and doctorate also in voice performance.
Oh, okay. And what do you play? You're the accompanist for the Medford Community Chorale.
I'm very grateful, yes, to be playing for this wonderful maestra.
And she is much more than she is the accompanist and a wonderful one, but she is much more than that because she's a master voice teacher and singer. She's able to do wonderful coaching. You know, when the sopranos run into a bump in the road or a trouble spot, she's able to come in with tips and techniques and, you know, kind of help them through it because of her expertise. And
Wow.
she does this with such joy and generosity.
Oh, okay. Now, Julie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I was also born in Somerville, and I also graduated from St. Clement's a couple of years after Betsy. I've known Betsy for over 50 years, and as she told me, our parents actually went to
did.
St. Clement's together. So
Her
we
dad
go
and my
way
mother
back.
actually went to St. Clement's together,
Yeah.
so we go back a long way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you mentioned in the beginning that Julie actually has been and still continues to be the technical director, besides being a member of the chorale, our technical director.
You're in charge of all the like the cameras and the microphones and everything.
Yeah,
is
no,
that-
well, that too, but no, actually, I not necessarily that, but I take care of the website. I created the website with help from WordPress, of course. You know, I didn't do the HTML code, but you know, I take care of the YouTube page, the Facebook page. One of the great things that Betsy incorporated into the chorale is that we actually have practice tracks, so that, you know, during the week between performances, we can actually go on the web page and
And these-
practice.
Yeah, practice tracks for all of the voice parts, so that because, you know, ideally the rehearsals, you know, shouldn't be just for learning notes. Of course, that's a part of it. But if they do their homework, then we can really work on the musical aspects. You know, work on dynamics. You know, work on expression, interpretation, and, you know, things
Yeah.
like that.
Can I ask you, girls, how did Medford Community Chorale come to be? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
When my time at St. Joseph's ended, I was trying to decide. I knew I wasn't ready to do nothing, so I was trying to decide what I would like to do. And I had been thinking for a while about starting a community chorus. Medford, as far as I know, the last time Medford had a community chorus was back in 1980 or 81. Connie Limbarakis was the last director of the Medford Community Chorus. So I thought this was, you know, something that would be really appreciated and would be fun to do and enjoyable, and I'm really excited about it. We organized on November 7th of 2019, I was very lucky because one of my youth chorus parents, actually both of them, Sean and Jill Began, own and operate a Began Law Office in Medford, and they offered to, to do this for me, to do all of the filing for the 501c3 status, and they really were incredibly helpful. I don't know how I would have done that on my own without them. And so that was November 7th, and shortly after that, we were planning on getting started in January of 2020. But I got a call from Kelly Catallo, who was spearheading Brianna Lungo-Kern's first inauguration celebration. And she said, Betsy, would you be able to put together a citywide chorus to sing at the inauguration on January 5th? Well, it was like a God wink, as they say. So we went into full gear, and we were able to, we had 59 singers on the stage on January 5th of 2020. We had just 3 rehearsals, and we did a prelude concert, about a 45-minute prelude concert before the inauguration. So that was our first public performance.
I was at that performance, the inauguration.
That's right. That's
you
right.
enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. I really liked it, And you guys did such a good job.
What did you enjoy about it?
Oh, I love the music. I mean, the harmonies and everything. Like I'm dating myself. It was back in 2020, so I don't quite remember the songs, but I know you guys were great. So
Oh, thank you. And we actually also had another local guy, Brian Hilliard, and his occasional brass quintet also were there, and they played, and they also accompanied us. And then just to fast forward, we were going full speed ahead in January of 2020, getting ready for a spring concert. And then we had our last rehearsal pre-COVID was March 11th of 2020. And we went home and we said, bye everybody, have a good night. Everything's really coming along. See you next week. And that's when COVID shut the doors. So, so basically everything came to a halt. And this is really where Julie and Holly too came into the picture.
now,
Because-
before I ask,
Yeah.
how did you and Holly meet first?
Holly remembers. You can tell us about that.
Yeah, there was a music director at St. Francis Parish in Medford, and she had gotten my name from a mutual friend, and so she had me come and cover various masses for her when she needed somebody to play the organ or the piano.
You're an organist too. Is there anything you can't do?
There are so many
I
things
don't
I
think
don't
so.
do.
I
know.
There are so many things I don't do. Those things I happen to do. But but we had never met in real life. So she told me that her choir was going to be singing in a concert. And it was shortly after Christmas. It was like early
It was
in
an Epiphany
yeah.
choir festival.
Yeah, and I thought this would be a great opportunity, just to meet her. And what I did not understand was it was not just her choir, but it was Betsy's choir and also Cynthia Arsenault's choir as
Yes,
well from
yeah.
someplace in Andover.
Andover, St.
Yeah.
Augustine's, I think at the time.
And the concert was excellent. It was really good, but I mean Betsy really stood out, and I was just blown away that she had 3 different groups, all very, very good, very well rehearsed, very musical and dynamic, and I mean she's such a great director. And so that was how we met. Just afterwards, we...
Yeah, you came up and introduced yourself. I remember
Said,
you come
"Wow,"
up and you
like,
said,
"You are one,
Brava.
wow."
And I thought, I didn't know her at the time. And then when she introduced herself, I had known her name. I knew of her for many years. People had given me her name, as a sub if I needed one. But for some reason, I just hadn't had the occasion to call her. So I remember saying, so you're Holly
Yes.
Zagari.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
But anyway,
It's
it
like, wow,
was...
you're so good. You're just so good. Do you have any idea how good you are? Oh, my God.
Oh.
It's so nice to meet you.
Oh, my gosh.
And I feel the same way now, even more so.
Yeah.
No,
Well, thank you so
that's
much.
amazing.
It was, as I said, it was my lucky day, really. I felt as if I hit the lottery that day when we met. My situation, and Julie knows this, at St. Joseph, our organist at the time, unfortunately, was beginning, her health was beginning to decline. And so I actually started calling Holly to sub on occasion, and then when it happened that Genevieve just wasn't able, to continue any longer, Holly was able to move into the position, and she was our organist and pianist and singer and much more for, I think, over 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that we've been able to
believe
continue
it.
our association.
Yeah, I remember Betsy and you, and I remember Genevieve because she was the organist and you were the singer at my sister's wedding.
That's right. And
wow.
Renee Peone sang
That's
as well.
wild.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was fun. But Julie, we don't need to ignore. I have to ask you.
no.
I have the question. You have a very unusual nickname, if you don't mind me asking. Now, I have your nickname is the Jarhead.
Yeah, Julie the Jarhead. It's something that I started calling myself about 30 years ago, although I've kind of moved away from it. But it comes from my service. I was in the Marine Corps in the early 80s.
Well, thank you for your
Oh,
service.
thank you. And I've actually become quite notorious in Medford.
Notorious.
And that's a story in itself, but yeah, that's from my service.
I
yeah.
didn't know that was the origin of the
Yeah,
name.
yeah. It's jarhead. It's one of those words that it can be used as a pejorative, but most of the time it is a term of endearment. So yeah.
Well,
In
we
other
would
words,
consider
nobody
it that
should
way.
mess with you. Is that how?
Well, like I said to Holly before we came in, I kind of use it as a defense mechanism.
Well, you're a former Marine. I don't want to mess with you. That's for sure. Now we're going to show a clip of one of your songs. This one I picked myself because it's one of my favorites. Sing.
This is one of the virtual choir
Yeah,
videos.
the virtual choir videos, sing a song. I love this video. Now, can you tell me how you set it up and how it worked?
Well, sure, just really quickly, and then I'll turn it over to Julie for the technical aspects. When COVID hit, we realized it wasn't going to be a little 2-week hiatus.
Yeah.
It was going to be quite a long time before we were able to come together physically again to sing. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do, and we were hearing it, seeing some of these virtual choir videos, on the internet, and that we saw some incredible ones, but also just some folks locally, amateur choirs and so on doing them. We thought, let's, maybe this is something that we could do. But it's nothing I could have done on my own because it required, of course, video editing and so on. And I put it out to the folks to see if there was anyone who'd had any experience or had any knowledge who might be game to give this a try. And Julie raised her hand. I'm not sure she regrets it, but she said she had done video editing, never anything like what this required.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
she was up for it, and I was, and so basically we did a little test
Yep,
first.
yep.
Holly and I we recorded. We did a video. Holly playing the accompaniment to "Thank You for the Music" was the first one, and she was playing the accompaniment, and I was directing. We did a video of that. And then we went back, and with headphones on, she had one earbud in her ear, and I had one in mine. We listened to what we had done, and so while we were listening, she was recording the individual parts, and I was directing the individual parts. So we could give these to the singers, so that they would be basically, because they were on their own, they were alone on their own, and they would be, while they were listening to their part being played, or listening to the accompaniment, they would sing their part. But we wouldn't hear the accompaniment. Only they would hear it in their ears. They would sing their part. Then they would send it in, and that's when Julie would take it and basically, what I want to say, combine it with the accompaniment. Yeah, and
It must have took a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it did. When you see at least our virtual choirs, when you see them, you're looking at individual videos. I have worked on videos that were upwards of 50 separate tracks.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I also had to create a template so that I can keep track of who's in the squares and et cetera. And then I would do that preliminary. Well, what we did is that we brought I did one singer, and then I passed it to Betsy, and Betsy did some pre-editing.
Yeah.
And then I brought it back, and after a couple of singers, then Betsy and I would get together and we'd do the real scrubbing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When she says I did, the kind of editing I did was basically listening over and over and making notes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I didn't do technical things. I did, came in too soon here, wrong note there, flat here, or whatever. I'm just saying, so all the notes for the things that Julie would then edit, would then
Yeah.
fix within the video. And as she said, we would start with one voice, one anchor voice, somebody who was really basically spot on, and that would be the anchor voice. And we would sync that that would be synced with the accompaniment, and then we would add the next voice, and we had to, again, it had to be melded together. It had to be meshed. It had to be synced, and this had to be done with each video for each voice, because again, when you are on a stage, and the sound, a choir is on a stage, and the sound is coming out, and it comes together, it's very forgiving. This is not forgiving
No.
because each singer is mic'd. Each
Yeah.
singer is on a microphone, so every breath is heard. Everything,
wow.
everything is heard.
Oh
So-
yeah, we used to go crazy. It's like, wait a minute, there's that little sound there.
Yeah.
Who's doing it? And we'd end up going through all the voices just to find that little,
Yeah.
glitch.
How many voices did you have? How many in the choir?
I think the largest one, I think we had over 50. We
Yeah.
had 51 or 53
50?
voices.
So
yeah.
50 different
Videos.
videos.
50,
Yes.
each of those squares is an individual video, and I brought it in and I, laid it on a track. So I should post a picture of it from my MacBook, because, we have like over 50, because we
Yeah.
have the accompaniment
Right.
video, and then we have all the different voices and everything.
Yeah.
It really is a,
Now,
And
did,
then instrumentalists too on a
Yeah.
couple of them.
Yeah.
Colossal amount of work,
Yeah.
an astounding amount of work.
did every choir member have their own video camera in front of them? Is that how it
Yeah,
works?
They use their phones.
yeah. They use,
Oh, their phones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they use their phones.
Technology is amazing.
Some
Isn't
use
it?
some use computers or
So was
whatever.
it voice memos then? They would just.
Yeah,
use
they
voice
they
memos?
would send us, I think it was an MP3.
Yeah.
And, no,
I
I'll
believe
take
so.
Oh, no, it
that
was a
back.
video.
No, it was video too, yeah,
Yes.
which is another thing too, is that I had to handle the size of the
Of the files.
entire file. I
Right.
mean, we're talking like hundreds of gigabytes.
Now, how long did it take before you finally perfected it?
I guesstimated somewhere in the vicinity of about 80 hours.
Yeah.
Per
80 hours?
per video.
Oh,
Not per individual video.
Yeah,
per
but
project.
Per the whole
Wow.
video.
So
yeah.
per song.
per song.
Per song.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
we you had to listen to each individual person a number of times. You had to listen to the whole group a number
And
of times.
balance them,
Balance
and,
the
right,
voices, because I think half the choir is sopranos.
Yeah.
And speaking as a soprano, we love to sing loud.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you have to balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
And-
okay, we're going to take a look at it
and-
right
and
now.
Sing was our last one, by the way.
Sing-
That was the
Sing-
sixth one, and
Yeah,
that's a combined video of both the full chorus, the adult, and the youth and young adult.
Okay. Well, folks, enjoy this nice clip from the Medford Community Chorale. Sing.
One, two, three.
Sing, sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad. Sing of happy, not sad. Sing, sing a song, sing a song, sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing, sing a song. Sing, sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong. Sing of good things, not bad. Sing of happy, not sad. La la la, do la.
And we're back. Wow, that was incredible. I loved what you did. It came out so nice and everything. Yeah, I mean, Julie, I got to give my hats off to you because I mean to edit all that and make it sound the way it did, was just amazing. So great job.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great job.
And Betsy and I are still speaking to each other.
Why there was a lot of fighting between the two of you?
not really. No.
It was a
She
lot of hours working
Yeah,
together.
she kept me fed
And happy.
and happy. Yeah, happy and fed. Yes.
No.
And
Now,
she was patient. I mean, she was patient with me too, because sometimes I just, I just didn't want to rest until something was, she'd know if something was still bothering me, but she always managed. We'd always get to the bottom of it.
now, how many videos have you done so far besides Sing? What else have you
Okay,
done?
we did 6 of them. We did Thank You for the Music was the first one. The second one was Lift Every Voice and Sing, which, by the way, is the opening piece for our upcoming spring concert, entitled Lift Every Voice and Sing. And then that we also had, then the kids did their first one, and that was Do Re Mi. And that's also going to be included in the program. After that, let's see, the adults did The Sound of Music, and the kids did I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing.
Oh, I love
and then
that song.
finally, the sixth one was combined, was Sing, the one that
Yeah,
that we just heard.
I-
We actually went up to Holly's church, one of Holly's churches, to record the tracks. So we had drums and trumpet. And so the accompaniment video is Holly playing, me directing, Salvo on the trumpet, and Jonathan Hess on drums. So that was the accompaniment track that we recorded. And then, of course, we stayed and did all the individual parts.
Now, you've done a live concert since the pandemic hit? I mean,
In December, yes. Actually, we got permission back in the summer to come back to in-person rehearsals in September. And so we began preparing for our first holiday concert, which took place on December 10th. It was called Jingle All the Way. And we thought appropriate, well, actually, Julie was the one who said to me, we can't have a holiday concert in Medford without doing Jingle Bells.
of course
Yeah.
not.
And so, as Scarlett O'Hara said, I'm ashamed I didn't think of that myself. But anyway, but Julie mentioned that, and we came up with a nice 2-part arrangement that both the adults and the youth chorus did together. So that was December 10th, and it was it was just so gratifying to finally be able to make live music
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
We did it at the Karen Theater at Medford High School,
Yeah.
and it looked different because everyone was masked, everyone in the audience, all the singers, but they didn't mind because they would have done anything they could to be together.
It must be hard to sing with a mask on, though.
I don't know. I mean, I was surprised at how used to it I got. And of course they have special singers masks,
Right.
with a
They do?
with a this big schnoz like
It
Holly
was
said.
structured like
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But it gives
But most of us, like me, I was too cheap to buy one, so I use a plastic one. But even then, it was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, on Wednesday nights I would have it on for 2.5 hours, and I would forget that I had it on, really. But
That was like me, too, because I was so used to putting the mask on that sometimes I didn't even know I had it on
Yeah,
most of the time.
exactly.
When I went to work and everything, you had to have a mask on, you know. And hopefully things will start to get better finally. But there was one song that I liked on your concert that I saw. It was called Light One Candle.
Yeah, that's a great.
That
song.
was a beautiful and we're going to show a clip of that.
Yeah.
But can you
Oh,
tell
I'm
us,
so glad.
can you talk about that song and where it came from?
Yeah, well, actually, we wanted to include a Hanukkah song naturally in the holiday concert, and when I was listening to things and back in the summer looking for things, I listened to that, and it grabbed me. I mean, it really struck me. It was written by Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember Peter, Paul, and Mary, but I did not know that song. I did not remember that song, but I loved it, and I think it became one of the chorus's favorites.
Oh,
And I think
yeah.
of all of the pieces, I think that is one of the ones that really came off the best. It's just a beautiful piece.
I know when I
Yeah.
first looked at it, I'm like, what? But as these two ladies who not only are very knowledgeable, but they also have an incredible way of imparting their knowledge to the rest of the chorale. It's
Thank you,
it's
Judy.
unbelievable, especially, I mean, I said to several people, you know, Holly, it's like she's giving a singing lesson
Yeah.
because she's so knowledgeable, but again, she knows how to impart that knowledge. So again, you know, when I first saw, you know, Light One Candle, I'm like, oh my gosh, but, you know, it became, yeah, I think it was my favorite
Yeah.
piece of the whole
Wonderful. I think
chorus.
a lot of the chorus feels
It's an
that way.
incredible song.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
That's
we're
the
gonna-
one you're going to play?
Yes, we're going to play. So let's take a look at a snippet from the Community Chorale concert back in December. This is Light One Candle. Oh, you know that was so beautiful. I love that song. That was terrific. And now I have to ask, what is your upcoming schedule like for the Medford Community Chorale? Are you going to be doing any future concerts?
We are. We are in the throes of preparing for our spring concert on May 20th. It's also going to be at the Karen Theater. It's called Lift Every Voice and Sing, and it is a celebration of music and singing. And it's a pretty varied program. We've got some inspirational, some patriotic. We're going to close with the Wilhowski arrangement, Peter Wilhowski arrangement of the Battle Hymn. It's because this is right around Memorial Day, and we thought that would be very appropriate. The youth chorus is going to be doing several pieces on their own and a couple together with us, and they're going to be doing a little rainbow medley of Rainbow Connection. Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
Can I say
Yep,
one thing about that
absolutely.
song, Rainbow Connection? When Jim Henson passed away back in 1990, every time I heard Rainbow Connection, I cried.
I love that song.
I love that song. But I
It
mean,
is
it
a
just
kids' song.
because I grew up with the Muppets, and and the song, I've seen the Muppet movie many times, but that's my kryptonite right there. I every time I hear Rainbow Connection, there's some
Yeah.
that and Mariah Carey's Hero is one of two songs that
Okay.
kind of make me cry. But all right, well now you know. Okay, but
That's quite all right. And we're pairing it, by the way, with Over the Rainbow. Yeah.
Oh,
from The
gee.
Wizard of Oz.
I'm not going to have a dry eye if I come to see it.
Yeah.
We hope you, if
No.
you can, we hope you will.
Now, can I ask one last question? Like, where do the choristers come from? Do they come from all over the greater Boston area?
Yes, in general. Julie's from Malden.
Yeah.
Holly's from Wakefield. Originally, Stoneham now. But anyway, we have folks who come from Burlington, from Arlington. I'm not sure where else. I mean, most from Medford, but others. Oh, Somerville. Yes, absolutely. Michael and George. Yep. So it's generally the surrounding areas, and it's been wonderful, very wonderful for me personally, because not only are most of my former St. Joseph choir members part of the group, but it's enabled me to meet so many wonderful new people. Some I already knew from the community, but so many wonderful new people who heard about us in various ways and have come together. We have from folks in their teens to folks in their 80s. We have people who have never sung in a chorus before. Some who have, are soloists who have lots of experience, but they come together. They all share one thing: a love of singing, and you put it all together, and they really they work hard. We have fun, and
What are some of the songs you sing? Is it mostly classical, or like any rock and roll, or Sinatra, or?
Well, actually, at Christmas we did Sinatra's "The Christmas Waltz," aka "Frosted Window Panes." I'm trying to. We're doing an Irving Berlin medley. I mean, I know that's not pop, but
It was.
Well, way back it was.
Depends on the generation.
It's called "Say It with Music." It's a nice medley of that. Again, it's a mixed program. It's as far as we haven't really. Well, thank you for the music. That's Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
From Mamma Mia.
And
So-
of course, sing.
and
is-
sing, right?
Sesame
Exactly.
Street.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's as I said, a really a mixed program.
Yeah. Well, I can't. When is this concert? In May?
Friday, May 20th. May 20th at Medford High School at 7 p.m. And it's it'll be about an hour and 15 minutes. And I think it'll be a really enjoyable program. I hope so.
Well, guys, I want to thank you once again for being with me on the show.
Thank you for
And
having me.
Yes,
so,
that's a
I'm
great
so
time.
glad. And if you want to know more about the Medford Community Chorale,
Yes.
where do they go?
Okay, our website.
Is one word, Medford Community Chorale, and that's chorale with an E, .org.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we also have a Facebook page.
We're on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
put that in the credits at the end for
Yeah.
the people, so we'll find out.
Sure,
So,
sure.
if anyone wants to join the chorale, I mean, do they talk to you or talk to Holly, or do they just go on the website?
They could reach out to me. My contact information is on the website and on the Facebook page as well. It's my name, Elizabeth Page at Comcast.net. And my cell phone number is there as well, so they can just reach out to me. There's a capacity for them to send a message as well to
Yes.
me, right, on the Facebook
page,
page,
yes.
even on the website. I
Yes.
think I discovered after the fact a few messages, but anyway, yeah. Now I'm getting the hang of it. Yeah.
Well, Betsy, Holly, Julie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
I know it's been such a pleasure. I wish you all the luck and everything.
Thank
and
you.
We appreciate
that's all.
it.
And once again, I want to thank Betsy Pesh, Julie the Jarhead Kelleher, and Dr. Holly Zagaria for appearing on the CBB show. Hope you have a good night. We'll see you the next time. So long for now.